As a small business owner, how do you navigate the digital marketing world? Well, our guest today, Tamara Mon, walks us through how, as a business owner, we can use digital marketing and AI to boost our brand. I learned so much talking with her. I think you will too. Please like and subscribe. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Hole in the Wall Business Podcast with Bill and James. I'm James Groves, and along with my business partner, Bill Dement, we want to share our journey as small business owners with you. As owners of Hole in the Wall Drywall Repair, we will attempt to peel back the curtain of owning a small business in the trade service industry and talk about the many adventures of owning a small business. Hey, Bill.
James, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Peeling back the curtain a little.
Lots of adventures coming.
I'm sure of that.
Absolutely.
Currently having a few.
Yes, many adventures. So we brought in a special guest today, someone who I've met through the Chamber of Commerce. She is the owner of Monivan Digital, right? And her name is Tamara Mon. And so, Tamara, we are so glad you're here. We've known each other for a while, but thank you for showing up today.
Thank you for having me. I am so excited to be here, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and she does a ton of work for the Chamber of Commerce. She does. We've done a few things together. We're hoping to land us on her podcast as well. Absolutely. So I just appreciate you being here. Hers is easier because she does like a Zoomy thing, and so just real nice with video. And she had to come all the way down here to our studio to do this podcast. So I really appreciate
thank you for coming in today. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. It was fun. I was excited to do it, so I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, I would love our audience to learn kind of more about you and your background and what you do, and then we'll dive into your business a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. So my name again, Tamara Mon. I am the founder of Monivan Digital Marketing Solutions. I have been in digital for probably about 20 years. I've worked for brands like St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis. I've worked for Hilton Worldwide. They've moved me across the country, all doing digital and digital marketing. I started my business, Monivan Digital, probably about 6 years ago. And what I really wanted to do is to bring that big company feel to small businesses and really help them understand digital marketing and how it could help them grow their business. I own the trademark, Go Beyond the Likes. So when I talk to folks, I talk to them about that, right? I have a degree in economics, so I talk in business terms, right? Market share in search. I talk about things that actually make sense to business owners, because many of the times they're like, digital, is it going to make me money, or am I just going to get likes and follows? Because we can't take that to the bank. So my philosophy is really moving it to a business conversation. How do you achieve your business goals through digital and digital marketing efforts?
Wow. And so when you say digital marketing, let's peel that back just a little. Let's dig into what it is. What are you considering digital marketing specifically?
Sure. I love that. That's a great question. So digital marketing is really understanding your entire online presence, right? Is it your website, your search engine optimization, how people find you on Google, YouTube, or Bing, understanding your social media, understanding all the elements that you determine are your online presence, right? Where your customers are, and how are you leveraging that presence with a true strategy to get to customer leads or to get to revenue or conversions. So it's really about looking at the entire digital landscape.
And so that's important to a small business for many reasons. What are some things you'd like to, when you kind of market yourself to a small business, why do I even need this? I'm pretty busy as it is.
Absolutely. Because most small businesses spend so much money doing the add-ons, right? They'll build their website, and then that website is what they think it should be, right? So they're like, oh, I need a contact us page. I need an about me page. I need an about this page. They'll spend money on social media, and they'll probably boost a post. They'll do some things. They'll try some things. And by the time they've reached to a digital strategist or someone who understands digital marketing, they're in a space where they've already spent thousands of dollars. And we start moving them to that place of, okay, what are your business goals? Let's talk a little bit about your business plan. And then we start talking about the things they need to do in digital on their website that really help them to get to that place. You need a little bit of direction when you're building your website, right? Your web designer is amazing, probably. He understands code very well. He knows how to make it mobile friendly. But does he understand your business goals? And does he understand the customer and the customer journey that you need to develop?
Yeah, there's a real psychology there, isn't there? Reaching people,
right? Because when we are on our phones and our computers, we're very selfish, right? I always think about the person in bed Googling at night, right? That person is looking for answers
Hmm.
and they're looking to find content that answers their questions. And then as the business, we have to start to anticipate the next question and answer that question. That's the way they start. They research, and that's how they stay with you, because you become the answer you anticipate. You move them down this journey, which is also your customer, your sales funnel. But this journey has to feel like, hey, it's a directed tour where you're telling them all these things and you're giving them the answers. So by the next morning, when you're available, they've already connected, given you their email address, because they're like, I actually believe this person. They told me X. I did it. It happened. So that transformation from awareness to becoming someone that's consuming your content sometimes happens without you, the business owner.
And so by the next morning, when they actually or you reach out to them and make contact, if they filled out a form or they're calling you, they're just calling to confirm that everything they saw along the tour, and I love the way you put that, is confirmed by what they're hearing from you.
Absolutely, right? They're at that place where they're like, yeah, I believe this. And is it right? Can I get that verification? Because I spent all night binging. Because think about it, we're bingers when we're buying things.
Sure.
We're bingers of content. So people sometimes want to move from, hey, I created content, to the purchase. Well, it's content to content consumption by your target audience, then to building trust, then to the purchase, then to becoming brand advocates.
Yeah, and what's lost on some of the smaller businesses, maybe the solo entrepreneurs or the people who are just kind of starting out, I got a Facebook page, I'm fine. The problem that people don't realize is that people don't always engage 9 to 5. They're engaging after hours. You just said it. They're at home, they're lying in bed, and they want to get some at least some sort of contact or some sort of clarity on what you do 24/7. When Tyler was on with our video guy just a couple weeks ago, that was his thing. He's like, listen, let us put video out there that answers the questions for you so you can save your time. When people go to our website, you can tell that they've been through our website to learn our lingo. And so they'll request me, I've got a medium hole in the wall. Well, they know that our medium holes are 2 foot by 2 foot, and that's on our website. And you can tell they've digested all that. And Bill's right. When they're communicating, they just want confirmation that what they saw is what the reality is.
Yeah, they're looking for, and there needs to be a continuity. Mm-hmm. So if one feels or looks one way and then they call and then the look and feel is completely different, it's not congruous, I guess is the term. Yeah. And they're really looking for that.
Yeah. They want that consistency.
A continuity. That's the term I'm looking for.
They want that. They want to feel like, hey, I like to tell people it should feel like cousins, right? Siblings sometimes, right? Because sometimes you go on vacation and your cousins take a picture and you're like, man, we look alike.
We look alike, yeah. Right? And you're us, but you're not really us. You're a little different.
So does the online presence feel like they're at least cousins? So people can say, I saw that. That was interesting to me. Because the things we pay attention to, right? As the consumers, these little details that sometimes as the business owner, we're thinking about our business goal and what we want to accomplish, but we haven't put our customer hats on. 90% of the digital marketing is really about customer service, moving them through a journey to really believe that, hey, this is the right place for me.
And really, you're saving them time too.
Absolutely.
So you save yourself time because you're not having to rehash everything from scratch to the customer, and you're saving them time because they can then consume this data on their schedule and then schedule time to get the work done or the product purchased.
100%.
It's funny because my wife is, and I hope she probably won't hear this, but when she buys something, I binge watch television shows. She binge researches every item she wants to buy. Mm-hmm. We want to buy a new dog bowl for their food bowl for our dogs, and she's going to read every review. She's going to look at and she'll do that from the comfort of our house. And that's the kind of nation, the kind of people that we kind of are in this new digital age. Mm-hmm. There are some old school things that do work. It could be a flyer, mailer, commercial, it could be billboards. But what everyone has in their pocket at all times is a 24/7 information machine that we utilize. And we would be foolish as small business owners not to utilize that tool to its fullest.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like we're microchipped with our phones.
Yeah, no, it's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
So what are some techniques that we can look forward to use? Do you use like geofencing, and do you use some of those other things? What are some of the things like that you use?
So some of the tools we use tools, we really focus on SEO as the start, as the foundational element for everything.
Which is, for our listeners, search engine optimization.
Yeah.
How do I pop up?
How do I pop up? And we use that because people are searchers, right? They search in a specific way. So if we create SEO as the foundation, I like to call it keyword to content creation. So if we really focus on our SEO, we're creating the right content. We're doing the things that give people the answers, as you talked about, right? And that's what's really important. So that's where we start off. We start off with that SEO, and then we look to build out. We use SEO as a place of market research. So based on the information that's there, the number of keywords, for instance, that search volume, we start understanding the opportunity for market share. Right. So we say, hey, you know what? These are the most relevant keywords for you. Some of them are in the intent of the keyword is informational, meaning that people are beginning the research. So in this place, you want to create that top of the funnel content, right? You know, as people are moving through the funnel, they're at the top of the funnel. Sometimes some of the keywords are informational. So they're looking for more information. Some of them are transactional. They're looking to make.
Do you find surprises when you start digging into the terms,
Absolutely.
the keywords? I would think either that really confirms what we were thinking on some of them, and some of them are like, oh, wow, we didn't even consider that. Is
Absolutely.
that sort of a discovery process?
You find surprises on words that are keyword difficulty. That's one of my favorite things. So there are keywords, we hear about keywords all the time, but they're keywords that are easy to rank for. Recently, we started ranking for custom digital marketing solutions. And we ranked for that keyword because it had a keyword difficulty of maybe 20. So keyword difficulty ranks from about 1 to 100. If it's at 100, it means that you need to do a lot more tricks to rank for that keyword, more backlinks, more content, right? But if it's, something between 1 and 20, it's easier to rank for. So you just need to optimize, look at the competition and do that. So we've recently started to get clicks for that keyword in about 3 months. Now, search engine optimization takes a little bit of time, but once it kicks in, you're also not using tools like paid search anymore. And it really pushes the business forward. So we've used keyword to content creation as a way to even create our podcast content. We do it in such a way where it's everything we do starts with that keyword, so everything becomes a little bit easier. But now that when we talk market share, we're saying, hey, this keyword gets 1,000 searches on a monthly basis. We want you to get 10% of those searches for this specific keyword coming to your website. If you have 5 core keywords and each of those keywords have 1,000, then we're saying, hey, you want 10% of that. That's what? 100, right?
Yeah.
So now we're saying we're looking at traffic that's coming to your site. We want 100 clicks to come to your site. This is the market share, the opportunity for you, market opportunity, and this is the market share that you can get in search. So that's a realistic conversation to someone. And if we're saying some of these people are coming in, they're at the top of your funnel, so they're moving into your pipeline, because if you understand your sales cycle, right, they're going to probably convert in 6 months, 3 months, depending on your sales cycle. If they're coming in at those transactional keywords, that might be a shorter sales cycle. So when I'm talking to a business owner who understands a business plan, who understands market share, the digital conversation is not this conversation of like, hey, so we got you these likes and follows. It is you can take this back to your CFO conversation. And digital gives you metrics all along the way. I clicked on it, the click-through rate, and it tells us more. When they click, it says, hey, they're interested. They got to your page, you wrote content. That content should take about a minute to read. They spent 1.5 minutes and they went to 2 pages. They're very interested. They're consuming my content. They didn't fill out my form. What happened? Right? And that's the thing that you solve for, right? So it gives you all these data points that says, hey, this is working, this is working, this is working. This stopped here, solve for this problem.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder if you've got I was on a website yesterday and it irritated me a little bit because they had a contact us page and all it was a form, mm-hmm. right? Forms are great for after hours, but their phone number wasn't easily found.
Mhm.
You know, I actually had to go Google search them separately to find the phone number
Mm-hmm.
because the only way they had method of contacting was just to contact us when it was a form. And so, I mean, you mentioned that they got through the whole funnel, but then they stopped at the form because I don't like filling out forms because I don't know where it's going, how long it's going to take to get there. And I'm an immediate, you know, gratification type person, especially because I knew it was during their business hours.
Right.
If it was during their business hours, I want to talk to somebody. I don't want to fill out a form and wait for someone the next day to get back to me.
Right.
What are some of the things that people need to think about on their website? Because I know when we had our web designer on, it's not just a good content, but I mean, you got to have, we've got blog posts, we've got podcasts, we've got videos and pictures, and because we're trying to build this content, so we need, you know, we win the algorithm war with Google, right?
Yeah. So I like to think about content like an octopus, right? And it's you like your content a different way. You like your content a different way. I like my content a different way. So when you get to a page, are you getting the thing that you need as you're coming down this customer journey?
Or are you being frustrated?
Are you being frustrated, right? But are you getting some of the answers, right? So now you have to think about, okay, so for the person who likes video, is there a video there that they can watch? For the person who likes to read a little bit more, is there that information there? So you have to think about all those customer types, that ideal customer, right? Because we have to move from target audience to ideal customer at some point in time. If you've been in business for a while, you're no longer seeking your target audience. You're always seeking that ideal customer. And if you start understanding how they consume and what they consume, you provide that information for them. I think on a lot of websites, because people haven't gone back to look and do the research, their analytics, to understand the most important pages. Where are they spending the most time, right? To dig into those analytics and really understand. Google Analytics is a free tool, right? And you should have it on your website. If you've been in business for a while, go today and add it to your website. Recently, they changed over from to G4 code. So that happened last year. It was a big deal. But those analytics will tell you everything. It'll tell you what people are interested in, where they're clicking. That information then gives you the, hey, this is where you start. These are my top performing pages. I understand those are the top performing pages. I'm going to use those pages again. So I think it's always starting from a place of understanding the analytics and then providing the right information. If you have your phone number, then you need to be accessible. Right. If you don't have your phone number, maybe because they're not readily accessible at that point in time.
Right.
So that calling them and not getting a response could also be a bad customer experience, right? So so now thinking about that instant gratification person, what does that look like, right? What do they need to feel in that moment? What do they need to feel good? And is it a chat box where you can chat with someone really quickly and then say, hey, can we move to a call? Because the chatbot is something you can manage on your phone, right? If you have a little chat, you can manage it on your phone. If you're away and you say, hey, I'm available for a call in the next blah, 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 we can talk, but I can answer these few questions for you right away. So I think it's finding ways and understanding personality types. It comes down to sales training, right? When you go to a sales training, they talk to you about different personality types. Those are the people that are coming into your online presence as well.
Did you know that there are over 140 million homes in the U.S.? 97% of them have walls and ceilings that are built using drywall. The drywall repair industry is simply enormous, valued at over $13 billion a year. We're hole-in-the-wall drywall repair, and for years we have been perfecting the art of repairing drywall, developing and refining our systems, and strengthening our brand. Our business model is simple, scalable, and easy to learn. We believe it's a real game changer. We are successful drywall repair pros who decided to take our repair business to a higher level, growing both our franchise training and support to industry-leading standards. You'll benefit from our vast experience helping your franchise hit the ground running and achieve success quickly. We'll give you access to our marketing team that has created strategic programs designed to get your phone ringing and booking new business fast. Join a fast-growing leader in an exciting dynamic segment of the home service industry by franchising with hole-in-the-wall drywall repair. Start building your own business and securing your own financial future today. You mentioned something, what pages are people going to and staying on the most? We were just doing an analysis of our franchise website, and it was interesting to see not just the pages they were on, but how long they were on these pages. And it was quite surprising. It was nice, actually, because I was like, those are the pages we want them on. There were our location pages, they were on our information pages. We've built pages that when we go to trade shows, it's not even on our website like as a click through, but you can only access it through a QR code.
Right.
And that page, you can see how much traffic you get during the time frame that we're on those at that shows.
I love that.
So we may have talked to 35 people, but 150 people actually went to the site during the show.
Right.
So those are the people walking by scanning our code. Kind of thing.
So landing pages for experiences are always great, right? And I love that as a strategy. That makes so much sense because you really get to see who's intentional and who's not.
Right. Well, good. So tell me a little bit about challenges and or pros, the pros and cons of this new AI world that we're living in now. Are you using it? Do you avoid it? Do you run things through an AI scrubber? What's the new thing?
So we definitely use AI. I actually do a webinar every Tuesday. It's happening today. It's automated, so I'm scaling my business. So we do a webinar every Tuesday called Preparing Your Business for AI, guiding people through how to leverage AI to do their digital marketing or to develop a digital marketing plan that they can then go, talk to a marketer about. It's not a one and done. So I'm embracing AI. My team and I are embracing AI. But I think what's really, really important is finding your brand voice in there, ensuring that you are not lost in the AI, because sometimes we can get lost in the AI.
Boy, that's a great point.
Yeah. So what if you are using AI for your business, really having a conversation, if you have a team, what percentage of this content is AI and what percentage is our brand voice? If I'm writing a blog post, I can use AI because I know this blog post will help me. I can use the code to help me rank, high. But I have to tell a story at the beginning of that blog post. So it's about me. So I was talking to a customer the other day and here's what happened. And I bring forth a story based on a customer. And then I add that to the top. I'm adding my brand voice in there. What are words I would never use that AI uses? And then the prompts that we're providing AI. I like to give them a little bit of an outline if I'm doing something, right? So almost like the outline you would write for an essay, a paper, create a great outline. Those prompts matter so much. So I think it's here to stay, and it's just how are you utilizing it. The other thing is AI in tools. So the tools that we have, the Canva, the tools that we're using, some tools like SEMrush, Google Analytics, they all have AI features that help you to better understand your data points, for instance. In Google Analytics, you can go in and say, hey, what does this mean? And it can give you recommendations and some insights. So for the person who isn't, I don't get these points, they can use AI. So looking at the tools that have AI to get to a place where you're saying, am I using those tools effectively, almost to 100% utilization and making it a little bit easier for you. So it's about not just ChatGPT and Gemini, but about those tools that you have in your business that have AI features too.
Yeah, because it's easy to rely on AI and then just copy and paste, right? But we know that, even Google's got scrubbers that will tell you this is an AI thing, and they actually don't get ranked as high as they used to. But we find here that we are better editors than creators. Mm-hmm. So there are times when we need a blog post on this, or we need to write a commercial script, and we may be stumped, but the more specific of your outline, and people don't realize, like even in ChatGPT, it's a conversation you're having with this AI. So Absolutely. Just because you ask one question or you ask it to write one thing, you can go in and sculpt it. Okay, now add this part, take away this part, and then you take that, and we then, Bill's much better at this than I am, but then he'll just edit it. And he's like, I'm like, that word, this is stupid. Yep. Let's change this word up. This making sense. 100%. Add a comma.
Yeah.
So again, we're better editors than we are creators, and so we like to use the AI for just almost inspiration for, I don't like this at all, but I've got an idea for it, and then we can just pivot off that entirely.
100%. Because it's like having something to say no to, right? That's one of my philosophies with my clients too. Sometimes they don't understand the concept, so I give them something to say no to. And the AI is this thing you can be like, oh, no, but it could be this. Because if you have no jumping off point, it's a great point for that. It's a great place to start. And I love that you talk about the editing piece. It's important that you are editing because that's really how you get your soul in there. We had someone once join the podcast and he talked about, he's not worried about AI taking his job because AI has no soul, and he will always be the soul that he brings to the AI. And I was just like, man, I love that, right? How do you add your soul into it?
Yeah, and not being afraid of it. A lot of
Yeah.
people are afraid of it. I don't want
100%.
anything to do with it.
Yeah.
The way I feel about TikTok is the way they feel about AI.
You don't want to dance on TikTok.
I'm not a TikToker. I don't know. For some reason, I like social media. I just don't do that one platform. But being able to access those tools are important. Even Facebook has AI, even for their their stuff now. It's everywhere. But not being afraid of it and learning how to utilize it, I think benefits us. I mean, technology. I drive a Tesla, and it uses AI in everything it does. It predicts what's going to happen before it happens because of all their algorithms. So
Right.
I'm a fan of it. I'm glad I might have to tune into your webinar.
Yeah, 100%.
Learn a few things. So to talk specifically about the type of customer that you work with the most, I mean, what are some of the key customers that you like to really work with? You have a passion for a certain demographic?
Sure, absolutely. I love when people have been in business for 2 years and they understand that digital is really the next step for them. They're looking for that digital transformation. It's hard for me to convince someone that they need digital, right? That's a really, that's a tall order. So I really like when a business owner understands the need for digital, because educating them about seeing the market opportunities becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, they're far more receptive, aren't they?
Far more receptive. So what I love about digital is that I don't have to be industry specific, because you're the industry expert, right? And whatever your industry is in. And me, I'm looking at your data points, where you can go, where you can, where you've come from. So really, if you understand that you are ready for this digital transformation, then it becomes this easy conversation that we're having. So those are really my favorites. They've been in business 2+ years. If it's someone who is a solopreneur, I tend to just spend time talking them through, because sometimes they may not be ready for my service, right? So I spend a little bit of time educating, because I'm also thinking about that pipeline. And I've seen where I've educated people and they've come back 2 years,
Yeah.
right? So as a business owner, you're like, okay, your pipeline. You want to talk about it now, you understand it. So I'll give you some information so that you can be in my pipeline. But it's really, again, those people that are ready for it. It's just an easier place to be as we move forward.
Awesome. Well, as we kind of come to a close, I'm just curious, do you have any, you've already dropped a bunch of knowledge on us, but is there like a one takeaway, like a freebie that,
Yeah.
here's a tip or a trick that might help a small entrepreneur that may not have
100%. I
resources?
love this. So create relevant content, right? Relevant content is so important. We want to consume relevant content. Your customer wants to consume relevant content. You want to use this tool called Answer Socrates. You want to go to Answer Socrates, go to your website, go to your phone, put it in there, and put in the keywords that you believe. That's how people find you. What it'll do is it'll provide you with a list of questions that people have asked in Google that day. So it now gives you an opportunity to start becoming the answer to those questions. Those are some of the questions you can use as your frequently asked questions on your website, on your landing pages, because people sometimes need those questions answered. It's a really great starting place for you to create content. And sometimes we get stuck in that content place. So it's almost answer Socrates to then AI to say, hey, could you answer these questions for me? And then taking that, turning it into your brand voice, all of a sudden you have a frequently asked questions page that you can now optimize for that keyword and find yourself ranking in Google.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Yep.
That's just brilliant.
So Tamara, what is new in your business? What do you have coming up?
So I've been really focused on SEO. So I recently just turned 50, I think 2 weeks ago. Can't count anymore. So I appreciate that. So what I did was I ran a campaign called the 50 Days to 50 campaign. And in the 50 Days to 50, what I really wanted to do was push the envelope with the business. So I started focusing on optimizing our blog posts, our website with new keywords, digital marketing consultant, digital marketing solutions, which is also in my brand name. So we're ranking number 13 for digital marketing solutions right now. And on Bing, I think we're on page 1 for it. So we started doing that. And I also started creating personal content, because I'd always created the business content, but the personal content, I did 60 days of yoga and Pilates in a row. What else did I do? I did a nutrition plan. I did all these things. And then I started doing videos with people that had known me throughout my life. So from childhood all the way up to 50. And that's the content that really started to resonate with people, right? Because I had a friend, she had a stroke and then she became an artist. She used to be a business executive. I had my old boss from St. Jude talk about how I was really intentional about the analytics. So now from this content, I have people vouching for me. So that know, like, trust factor. Over the years, I have people who have vouched for me, and then I've had people who've had different experiences. So what has come out of it is the lifestyle version of your business in digital. So we're now going to create a blogazine. Right? That's what we're calling it.
Wow,
for
there's
now.
a term I've not heard.
I made it up, I think.
I like it.
It's a blogazine where we talk about business, where business executives and business owners share their story. So my sister is a business executive. She is retiring, and so she has her financial plan together, but she's now she's planning that retirement. What does the blueprint look like? So we sent her 10 questions asking her about that, and then we're going to do some video. So we're going to see the same concept that we use to create the content for the 50 Day to 50 campaign. We're now going to use that for the lifestyle magazine. Give it a great name, use AI to get the great name. I think hers is called Unretired Ambition. My friend that had the stroke that moved from business executive over to now an artist, hers is called Brushstroke of Resilience. She answered the questions. We did the video. So now we have this thing that we can now look to. How do we create a little bit of a media house so that we can take these articles, add advertising for our webinars, our workshop, anybody that's on our podcast, we can advertise their services. Our goal is to really get to a place of 100,000 business executives over the next 2 years. Now we're in a space where we're talking about their lives. We're talking about what's happening with them. You shared your story about the Keyman insurance, and I'm like, you need to be on the blog, because those are the things that are happening to business owners. And so we're not just interested in our digital marketing. We're interested in retirement conversations. We're interested in, oh my goodness, aging parents. We're interested in all these things. And on top of that, if we see an advertisement, so that's one of the Trini words there, excuse me, for something that we're interested in this space that we're comfortable, it's easy for us to become buyers, right? So what I understand now is that people wanted to connect to my story, my personal story, but now they can connect to other people, other business owners' personal story, and that really helps to move the business forward.
Wow, excellent.
Wow.
Well, thanks for coming today.
Yeah,
We'll have to do this again.
No, we're going to need to do this again. I can see that already.
Yeah, I definitely have to go back and listen to the podcast to digest.
Yeah.
When I'm not hosting it, I will learn even more just by doing that.
Yes, you will.
Well, listen, Tamara, if our audience wants to get a hold of you and your team at your company, what's the best way for them to do
Sure,
that?
absolutely. The best way to connect with me is at monivandigital.com, www.monivandigital.com. You could use that as well, and just add Tamara to it at Monivan Digital, and feel free to email me. I offer a 25-minute free consultation. It's always a great way to start the conversation to, sometimes I just give you ideas and people walk away and they're like, hey, we did this. So feel free to reach out, connect. I love helping small businesses take their digital to the next level and go beyond the likes.
I love it.
Yeah.
And listen, this is just just a quick plug for if you are listening and you're not involved in a chamber of commerce in your area, you're not involved in some sort of leads group or BNI, shame on you, because I wouldn't have never met Tamara if I not gone to these events in the chamber. And it really does help your business, because not only are you selling to people and you're showing people what you do, but you're learning about other people and how can they benefit your business. I'm fairly selfish when I go to these events, because I'm like, yes, I want to sell and I want to get your business, but I really want to see how you can help me grow my business. And frankly, if you're out there, we always talk about it. Don't do business in a vacuum. You have to be able to reach out and explore, make time to do these events, because they're crucial. And it takes more than just one visit. You got to go multiple times. You got to make sure that your face is visible. People learn to trust you, who you are. So
absolutely. I
this is
second that.
This is proof of that. So,
100%.
well, listen, it was really great to talk to you. It's a good show, everyone. Thank you very much for listening. Another amazing show, episode 94, Bill.
Wow.
Can you believe it? So, thanks, everyone, for listening. We'd like to thank you for listening to the Hole in the Wall Business Podcast with Bill and James. We'd love for you to join our Facebook group and keep the conversation going. If you'd like to learn more about us and our business, check us out at holeinthewall.com. If you'd like to learn more about how to start a Hole in the Wall franchise, go to holeinthewallfranchising.com.